We go to Lonnie. He is in Cleveland. Lonnie, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Lauren, and Mark.
Yes, how you guys doing?
Welcome, Lonnie. Go ahead with your thoughts tonight.
Yeah, about the thing about that is that I think rich people or super elite have kind of turned that term into almost like a fairy tale. It's used when they commit a crime. And
which term? I'm sorry, you cut out for just a moment at the beginning of your call.
That's no problem. It's almost like the word the phrase conspiracy theory is almost it's been turned into like a fairy tale. Rich people commit a crime, or super elite or super powerful people commit a crime, and that's a conspiracy theory. It's Santa Claus. So of course it doesn't exist or it doesn't happen. Now, if I committed a crime, I'd want everybody to believe that was a fairy tale and
it never happened. Yeah.
Right, but what I would say is that, of course, there are some people at the top that are running the show that are criminals, and conspiracy theories or actual crimes that happen wake up a lot of people. Cops, all they do, and detectives, all they do is, they have a theory that there's a conspiracy or a crime happening, and that's their whole job, trying to discover or uncover that crime. So when the young lady was talking about how she doesn't want people to focus on conspiracy theories, well, most people or some people aren't as educated as herself. So these conspiracy theories, that most of them I bet are true, actually wake up people to the fact of what's going on, actually. So I think
I actually had this discussion with an individual, Richard Heathen, who runs Rebel Machine News. He and I talked about conspiracy theory and did a mini debate on my show about it. Mm-hmm. And he actually brought up that exact same point that, a lot of people don't even know about the Liberty Movement, and Alex Jones brings them in. And
he's a very big conspiracy talk show host.
Yes.
And he's somewhat liberty oriented.
Yeah. And the thing is that somewhat is the problem. And I think that people need to be coming in from an intellectual basis. And if within the Liberty Movement they want to talk about, how bad the government is, then that's one thing. But when we're projecting out into the world, when Alex Jones is one of the biggest quote unquote liberty things out there. And so I think he's a big voice. And so the problem is that that's what people are seeing. And a lot of people think that we're crazy for these views. And I'd rather bring them in from a standpoint of understanding and agreement. And I think that we can agree on things philosophically. And
I think there's
we can't necessarily agree with everybody on
the
cops are
theories.
killing people.
Lonnie, I agree with you that there are definitely people who come into the freedom movement from finding the conspiracy theory realm. It's just I side with Lauren on this one. It's kind of a dangerous place because you can kind of go off in a couple different directions when you get into conspiracy land.
Like lizard people.
Right. You can go off down the rabbit hole, or you can kind of find the ideas of liberty and then maybe kind of come to Free Talk Live or
come
other
to the
shows.
conclusion that there's really nothing you can do about whatever the conspiracy theories are. There's no way you can prove them. So
how are you going to shut down the Bilderbergers?
Yeah, and because the minute that one of these conspiracies that we have out there on the Alex Jones show or any other show is disproven, every one of our
there's been plenty of them that have been disproven.
I know, but that's just it. Those are the reasons that people think we're crazy, and every time that happens,
I don't know about that. There's all kinds of reasons that people think libertarians are crazy. Lonnie, go ahead with your thoughts. Anything else you want to share tonight?
Yeah, I was just going to say, well, like I said, more or less that term is just used, actually is probably propagated by individuals to, kind of just get the reaction that you guys are giving. You don't want them to think conspiracy theory because but it's just really a crime. I mean, these are crimes. And it's nothing more and nothing less than that. And actually conspiracy theory, like I said, a theory is just the idea that something may be occurring, and a conspiracy is a crime between individuals. So it's not like, the term is, the moon man.
Sure. No, that's a great point. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you're crazy because you have a theory about something.
You're only crazy if you're wrong.
I feel it's kind of been propagated to that.
Yep.
where now if we use that term, it's like, well, where's the tinfoil hats? When
You're right. I mean, the dividing line
would bet
between presumably legitimate sounding theory about what happened to JFK is not tantamount to a theory about lizard men taking over the world.
Right.
Thanks for the call, Lonnie. I appreciate hearing
Yep,
from
yep.
you. I guess some individual level of judgment needs to go into listening to these things. But the problem with the conspiracy realm is there's not a single major news story that there's not some sort of conspiracy angle on. I mean, whenever there's some sort of
At some point, you wonder whether anything bad ever happened before whatever this deep, dark, shadowy group it was that took over.
I want to point out that you just said it takes a level of individual judgment to be able to cipher through these conspiracy theories, the difference between lizard men and, this beheading.
Mhm.
And that's just the thing, is that within the liberty movement, I think we do have individual judgment. But I think a lot of people that are tuning in randomly don't necessarily have that judgment. And so when they realize that we're talking about lizard people, they just think everything else is crazy.
Well, we're not talking about lizard people.
We've talked about them several times. This
Not in any
segment.
serious manner. Not as though
None
we
of us
believe it.
believe that.
You're not a
I
believer,
promise.
are you?
No.
Well, I don't believe in the lizard people. Mark, you don't either, right?
No.
All right. Toll-free
Only in my
number.
dreams.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.